Today we're going to be discussing, is Skirk one of the best DPS characters in the game, or possibly the best? And we're going to go through the strengths, the weaknesses, and give you guys a final conclusion so that you can base your idea of pulling for her. If you would like to get 30% off all of your Genesis Crystal purchases, click the top link in the description. All you have to do is put your UID in your server, and when you purchase, they get sent to your Genshin account instantly. Over hundreds of thousands of reviews and purchases, all 5-star, so you don't have to worry. If you would like to join the brand new 16,000 Primogem giveaway that I do every phase of an update, so that's phase 1 and 2 of every update, then click the second link in the description. It's completely free to enter. First, let's talk a few strengths about Skirk and what makes Skirk strong and what could possibly make her the best or one of the best DPS characters in the game. So she has exceptionally high damage output with her Serpent Subtlety bonus and such massive multipliers. Skirk can deliver very high burst damage, especially when she's built and played around her elemental burst playstyle. Among cryo characters, her burst focus gameplay scales better and delivers higher damage ceiling than most cryo DPS units by far. She definitely takes the throne already, we can say for sure, as the best cryo DPS in the whole entire game. When optimized, she outperforms many existing DPS units in general, whether that be Hydro or Pyro, and especially those that fell out of the cryo meta, obviously, like we just talked about. More really good strengths are that she can be used as well with Hydro characters, and when used with cryo and Hydro characters in her party, she can make an absolutely amazing freeze team. And the multipliers on this just scale even more. This is a big revival for the cryo elements. Cryo has been underwhelming for a very long time in the meta since characters like Ayaka lost dominance. Skirk alongside Escoffia brings cryo back into the spotlight. And this opens the door for cryocentric team comps to regain relevance in both Spiral Abyss and just in general the overworld. A great factor about Skirk is she has self-sufficient resistance. Her resistance to interruption is already really high, meaning she doesn't heavily rely on eternal shielding or interruption resistance from supports like Xingqiu or Zhongli. And this makes her slightly more independent and more aggressive in rotations. Okay, now let's talk some weaknesses. So Skirk is very limited to being only in Hydro and Cryo team comps. Not only this, but she's very limited to who she can be paired with. Characters like Xingqiu aren't really going to cut it. Due to Skirk's resistance and her attack patterns, Xingqiu isn't going to cut it. He doesn't add as much value as other characters. Another weakness is the sheer amount of amazing characters you're going to need for Skirk to be in that SS tier top DPS slot. You're going to need Farina. You're going to need Escoffia, and when I say you're going to need Escoffia, you literally need Escoffia for Skirk to work, optimally. If you don't have Escoffia, it's kind of impossible for her to reach her maximum potential. And obviously Citlali as well. Citlali again is just one of the best in-slot teammates for Skirk. So you're going to need a full party of 5-star characters, fully built. This is going to be hard for some people, especially free-to-play players, so please take this into consideration. And another weakness, she has long skill cooldowns or downtime. So if you play Skirk in a burst-dominated style, there is a 9-second window where she provides little to no contribution, but during this downtime, you can switch to a different sub-DPS or other character, and this can ruin the synergy of her playstyle, but it's not the end of the world. It's just something I have to throw in for your guys' discretion. Let's talk about some build and stats for Skirk. So for stat priorities, you want to prioritize attack, crit damage, crit rate, cryo damage, the usual basically. Now let's review some footage of Skirk and her actual gameplay and how much DPS we can just see based off first impressions. So on this Skirk, they have 2100 attack. They're running 70% crit rate and 300% crit damage. They have Skirk's weapon in slot. They have a full artifact set built optimally around Skirk. This is a C0 Skirk. So this is a C0 Skirk with just the weapon. Tend everything out, so you do have to take that into consideration. That will take a while. And we do have a maxed out Farina, all C0, but with the weapon. Same exact thing goes with Escoffier, and the exact same with Sitlali. So let's have a look at the damage. As you can see, they use Farina's E, then they pop the ultimate. They use the E, then pop the ultimate on Escoffier, pop the ultimate on Sitlali, and then they go in with Skirk. And look at the damage. Jeez, that is absolutely crazy. 140,000 like every second. Every slash that was hit, 140,000. Very impressive if you ask me. Obviously, this is with like the best, most optimal team. Obviously, all of the characters could be C6, but for a C0 with weapon, this is very impressive. So let's get into the full conclusion, and we're actually being helped out by a beta tester. So this is a beta tester's conclusion to Skirk. So let's read it together. In conclusion, despite its flaws and structural quirks, there's no denying that Skirk is a highly capable and powerful character. Cryo, which has fallen out of the meta spotlight for some time, has now climbed back near the top, just below Mavwika. Thanks solely to the addition of Skirk and Escoffier. I can't say for certain how Skirk will be adjusted in the future, but in her current state, she is quite strong. If she does nerf, I'd accept that. Keep it in mind, Skirk requires not only heavy investment in herself, but also in the entire team. Like we've just discussed and had a full overview on, she needs an optimal team. So everything into consideration, optimal team, optimal build, weapon. We can place Skirk just behind Mavwika, so that actually puts her in the top 3 main DPSs currently in the game. One being Arlecchino, number 2 being Mavwika, number 3 being Skirk. So that finally puts Cryo into the spotlight again, obviously with a Hydro team mixed in as well. I think this is amazing because it means you can have a mixed party. You can have Skirk and then you can have the Pyro party. Obviously there's 2 different worlds going on there. If you would like to win a welcome moon, then click on notifications, turn it on all, like and subscribe to the video, then comment done. I can check if you have all notifications turned on, so definitely make sure to do that. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys later. I hope you enjoyed the review, and peace.